it happened to me. At a point I was getting addicted to alcohol, and it was not easy for me to battle. All these points I wrote out now. Where are the rest? Okay. They are here. You guys, we are back to another beautiful episode of Talk with Sandra. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm happy to return back here. At least so far so good. Just been doing it and it's been going so well. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please leave a comment in the comment section. If you know how I appreciate you guys' comments, if you know how I appreciate your comments and how they strengthen me, I mean, you'll just be dropping the comments every time in the comment section. So whenever I'm reading the comments, anytime I sit down and I'm smiling, my husband will be like, "You are on YouTube comment section," and that's it. I smile a lot going through comment sections because that's where we interact and I get to know the mind of you guys, how you feel so far with the series. So welcome back to another beautiful episode of Talk with Sandra, and in today's episode we are just going to be talking like as if you guys are here with me. Let's just talk about it. It's something I've been wanting to talk about on my channel, but I didn't get to do that before I remarried, and now starting this series we started with widowhood. So it will not be nice of me sharing every other part of it, discussing every other part of widowhood without my healing journey, how I was able to heal and come up to the level I am now, to the point that I am now the one encouraging other widows. It doesn't mean that there was no time that I was down. I was actually down, and you know, it was other people consoling me and stuff like that. But thank God that they say that time heals all wounds. So time heals every situation. So far so good. We've come up to this level, and we thank God so far how far He has brought us. So if you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Sandra, and I welcome you once again to another beautiful episode of Talk with Sandra. Okay, fine. Let me start by telling us that the very first step, you know, to healing is knowing that God loves you and going closer to God. That was the very first thing that happened to me, and thanks to my mom, because I remember during my grief period, you know, you get a lot of bad advice from so many bad people trying to push you into what would have consumed me if eventually I ventured into those things, people trying to make you get revenge, people trying to you know, lure you into all manner of nonsense. But then thank God that my mom was close to me. She was the one that called me. I was like, you cannot avenge this thing. It has happened. It has happened. Just move closer to God. My mom, you know, I started taking me to church. We go to church together. We, you know, talk about what God says about me, how much God loves you, how much you should love yourself and stuff like that. So the very first thing I realized was, you know, moving closer to God. That was where my healing process started. I moved close to God, and I began to engage more in godly activities, okay, that, you know, I don't used to do. Let me be honest. Things I don't used to do. That was the moment I gave chance to new birth, and I went close to God, started doing things that, you know, I feel it pleases God. So that was the moment I began to realize and get myself again. So I advise every widow out there, or anybody at all going through one challenge or the other, allow God to step into that situation, because He is the one that created us, and He knows us even more than we know ourselves. Trust me. So if you allow God to step into a situation, it simply means that you know your power cannot do this, and you're giving God a chance to step in. And the Bible said that a broken heart God does not despise. So you find out that God is interested in people that are wounded, people that are heartbroken, people that are mourning, people that are sick, people that are going through one challenge or the other. So the very first thing is to give chance to God to step into that situation. So the very next one is expressing your emotions. Don't try to bottle up your emotions. Don't try to say, okay, fine, I don't want to express my feelings, or I don't want to share what I'm passing through with somebody. I know that there are sometimes you share with the wrong people. They feel you're vulnerable. They take advantage of that, and people that can't keep their mouth shut, they start sharing it up and down. Some people start sharing with, maybe they are sharing with good intentions, but still, it's my right to share those stories with whoever I choose to. Some people will share with family and friends. Some people will share with sisters or brothers, and at the end of the day, those people will still, you know, tell you or tell another person that before you know it, they will get to you. And at that point, you will understand it differently because you didn't send them to share for you. Okay, so don't say because so that you don't fall into the hands of wrong people that will start carrying your story up and down, that you will not share your story, or because you don't want them to judge you. See, express yourself. Allow the emotions to flow. If you feel like crying, cry. Whenever you like the emotions becomes too much, if you're an emotional person, let it flow. It's not a crime to grieve. It's not a crime for you to feel like that. It's not out of line. What you're feeling is not what any other person has never felt. What you're feeling is right. Allow it to flow. Allow the emotions to go. Don't say, oh, because, don't bottle it up. Don't say, because I don't want them to judge me. I don't want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. And then you bottle it up. Trust me, if you bottle it up, you're going to battle it later. It happened to me. Okay, at a time when if I share what I'm feeling with a few friends, and then the next thing I'll start hearing it from the mouth of other people that I did not share it with. Maybe they are sisters or family members, and I stopped sharing. Okay, I stopped sharing at a point. I just keep it to myself. But it was still unhealthy to me because, like, it's not everything you can swallow or bottle up. There are times that you need to share with people. There are times that you need to let your emotions flow. And sometimes people will misunderstand that emotions. But the most important thing is that you feel all right after expressing yourself, because it's you that is grieving. Those people judging you, they are not the ones grieving. So allow your emotions to flow. Express your feelings. This stage is always difficult for women with children because you tend to look strong. You want to be strong, so because of your children. But at the end of the day, you find out that you're hurting yourself. You are denying yourself of that opportunity to grieve, or that opportunity to cry and let go of emotions. Okay, and sometimes it's not good to cry alone, because oftentimes you see yourself overdoing it. You see yourself doing things that are out of order just because those emotions are high at that point. So it's normal for you to allow your emotions to flow. Express your emotions. It's also part of your healing process, but don't do it in the presence of your children. Okay, me, I always, anytime my heart is heavy during my own time, I allow my children. I don't do that in presence of my children. Okay, except when I don't have a choice or something happens suddenly and I don't have a choice, I just break down immediately. But most times I don't do that in the presence of my children. I just allow them to be. When I cry in my room, after crying, I come out and become that tigress that they know, and become that lioness that they look up to. So that's just all about. And the next one is try doing those things that you don't used to do. Like I mentioned in the last episode, I said that growth, when you get to growth, you begin to pick interest in those things. Even when you're grieving, just once in a while, give yourself a break. Those things you used to like to do, try them out. Okay, try doing things you love to do. If you're the type that love watching movies, just watch movies, and stay away from movies that will remind you of what you're passing through. Stay away from events. Like me, I stopped going to for burial ceremony for over God knows how long. For over 3 years, I wasn't going to burial. I don't attend any burial where they are crying or burying somebody. I don't, because once I get there, everything comes up to my head. In as much as you're trying to engage in hobbies, maybe you love movies, you love seeing movies, or you love doing going out, partying and stuff like that, stop going to places that will remind you of what you're passing through. Okay, engaging in some fun activities is also part of healing process. You see yourself when doing all of that, mixing up with people. Don't isolate yourself. Don't be like me. I isolated myself from people for a very long time. So don't isolate yourself from people. Don't say, don't hide, don't live my own kind of life. I know people heal differently, okay, but it affected me. It affected me seriously. So don't do like me. Just let it flow. Okay, once in a while, mix up with people, hang out, do things that are fun, even while you're still grieving. So By the time you go out, mix up with people, you find solace. You get closure. Okay, mingle with people that has passed through what you're going through at that time. Elderly people, okay, people that have passed through what you're going through at that time. Mingle with them, move with them, you know, let them talk to you. Share what you're passing through with them and let them speak to you. So it's also part of the healing process, and these are tips that helped me to heal so fast. Start making new friends. Don't say, okay, because I've now lost my husband, I can't make friends with married people, I can't mingle or do what others are doing. It happened to me. I find myself feeling like I don't belong to this class, I'm not supposed to fit into this place, I'm not supposed to be here, I'm not supposed to be that. I know that sometimes, even when you try to push it, it backfires, but then just the fact that one thing didn't work out doesn't mean that another one is not going to work out. I strongly believe in that. Just mingle, allow it to flow, allow people to visit you, visit people, flow, just mix up with people. It helps a lot. Do fun things together with people. You find yourself gathering yourself once again, coming back once again, and while doing this, be patient with yourself. Don't force it. It is very important that you become patient with yourself. Don't try to force it. Don't try to say, oh, this person moved on in a space of two years and now you're moving on. It will eventually leave you with guilt. If you don't grieve, trust me, and you just, or if you don't grieve enough, or if you don't, how will I put it? If you don't let the emotions flow, you end up seeing yourself at that growth stage and you fall back again. That's just it. Okay? You fall back again, and maybe when you fall back again, it affects your health, it affects your mental health, because these are things that should have come before the other. They didn't come. Allow it to come on its own, go on its own, like allow it to flow on its own. It's very, very important. It's a very beautiful part of my healing process. I allowed everything come bit by bit. I didn't force, I didn't rush into anything. I just allowed everything to come bit by bit. So it's very, very important that you also do that. And when you find out that when you come to each stage, finally, you maximize it very well. You don't have any regrets whatsoever. You don't feel like, oh, this is coming too early. You don't feel like this is happening so fast. You just let it flow, irrespective of who is not comfortable with that. So this one is very, very important. Stop blaming yourself. It is not your fault that everything happened. At a point in my life back then, I found myself blaming myself, like I didn't do so much, as if I didn't do what I was supposed to do as a wife, as if I think I shared something like that on my channel. Yes, I regretted not doing some things. I saw myself that if I had done this, if I had done that, this wouldn't have happened, or that wouldn't have happened. So once you see yourself in that mood, try and battle it. It's not funny, because it gets up to your head. You start blaming yourself as if it was all your fault. You didn't do what you're supposed to do. So don't blame yourself. The moment you stop blaming yourself and you stop blaming other people around you, trust me, when somebody dies, people will come and tell you this is the person that killed the person. Or when something bad happens, people will come and tell you this is the person that made it to happen. It's your uncle, it's your aunt, it's your mama's co-wife, it's your this, it's your that. Me, in as much as I am such a spiritual person, I don't so much believe in it is the person that made this to happen. Yes, I don't so much believe in that. It's not every single thing that happened that is people that caused this. Sometimes things happen. Okay, so you see people that will come and tell you, yes, it's this person, this man he does not like your husband even before they married you. He does not like the marriage. Maybe he's the one that did that and that. We all know things like that happen, but don't let it get to your head that you carry it on your head and begin to create enemies with people that are supposed to help you. Maybe that person that they are accusing, maybe the person coming to tell you that is actually the one that is doing it though. Trust me. Or maybe that person telling you that is beefing the other person. Okay, so sometimes it's not like that. I'm not saying you should not be careful or watch it, or watch where you step, or watch what you do per time, but stop blaming people around you. The moment you stop blaming anybody around you and find it that God knows that this person is planning this and yet he allowed it to happen, let his will be done. The moment you see whatever that happened, that it has happened and there is nothing you can do about it, that is inevitable. The only thing you can do is to grieve, grow, and the grace will come. So the moment you come to that understanding, you find yourself healing so fast. At a point in my life, I was blaming everybody around me. My parents, Every single person, my husband's family, every single person around me, trust me. Myself, I was even saying, why didn't I try harder not to allow him go out that day? Why did I not try to lock the door? Why did I not do this? Why did I not do that? I was busy blaming myself. I was busy blaming people around me. And I saw myself grieving the more, dying the more emotionally. So the moment you let go of all blames, your healing has started. Then the next thing I want to talk about is, at that point when you're grieving, when you are not yet healing, you find yourself getting addicted to anything that relieves you of a little stress. Me, a friend introduced me to taking alcohol. I was taking, once in a while, I take a sip of alcohol. And when I take it, I see myself feeling better at that moment. But trust me, at a point, it was about to become an addiction. And I battled it with every single thing in me. I battled it, and that was how I was able to pull out. Yes, it was not easy, because whenever you take a little of it, you feel better. You feel like, oh, I'm feeling better right now. I can't even think about those things. But trust me, it's just like somebody that your body is scratching you, and you went and used the water they use in washing yam to take your bath. That's exactly what it looks like. Because by the time you sleep, wake up from that alcohol, you still see the problem staring at you. That's why the Bible says, give excessive alcohol to the fool, so that he can forget his sorrows. It is meant, it's only foolish for you to get yourself drowned in alcohol. I battled one case recently, a young lady, okay, a very close one for that matter, that lost her husband. We all went for the burial together. Everything happened, and the next thing I began to realize that she was getting herself addicted to alcohol. Okay, I took notice of that recently, not just recently, and I had to battle it with her. We battled it together until God began to take control. Sometimes it's not good to like say, okay, fine, it relieves me of stress, and because of that, let me keep taking it. It happened to me. At a point, I was getting addicted to alcohol, and it was not easy for me to battle. Okay, so, and it takes the grace of God for anything you are addicted to leave you. Some people get addicted to doing all manner of things, because at that point you are prone to addiction. You are prone to abusing whatever that gives you, that relieves you of stress. So you just have to think about it. If you fall in this category, now that I'm filming this video, start readjusting, because before you know it, it will affect your life, your health, every single thing around you. And if you're the type that you have children looking at you, it will affect your children. Trust me, whatever you do, your children see it as something good and they move on with it. They don't see it as, trust this generation, they so much believe in their parents. Whatever you do, they do. And before you know it, they judge you and tell you that you're the one doing it, and that's why we are doing it. So that's all about now. The very next thing I want to talk about that is very important is for you to, you know, look out for that renewal sign. I've come across a man that lost his wife, and you know, we were friends. When something bad happens to somebody, he will be like, anything that can happen to anybody should happen to anybody. After all, his wife died. And he made that statement around me severally. At first, I wanted to start avoiding him, but because of where I'm coming from, I noticed that what he's battling is bitterness. He still have that bitterness in his mind that his wife died. It is nobody's fault that your wife died, no matter the circumstance. It's only God that creates people, and it's only God that takes them. If God allows a certain thing to happen, that's because he wants it to happen. He wants to glorify himself through that thing. Okay? So I began to talk to him, and I was like, the fact that you're grieving is not enough reason for you to wish every other person around you the same thing. You still see some other people, they'll be like, I don't even wish my enemy to witness what I'm going through now. My mom is a typical example of people that behave like that. If my mom is passing through pain now, or something is troubling my mom, you hear my mom saying, God forbid that this should happen to anybody I know, or even my enemy. And I learned that from my mom. Okay? She is She is not wishing her pain on anybody. All right. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that you look out for that renewal sign. Don't let what you're facing make you wish other people bad. Yes, there are some people like that. I'm telling you out of like what I've experienced, what I've seen happen. Things I've battled with people. Don't say because this happened to you and that can happen to any other person, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything. Think about the pain you're feeling. Now, out of love, you wish other people good so that they don't feel what you're feeling. That's it. And you see yourself healing so fast. Once you have so much love in your heart that you don't wish your pain on other people, you will see yourself healing so fast. So don't forget that we are still talking about my healing process and the healing process of a widow or anyone that is grieving at all. It must not necessarily be a widow or something happened, you find yourself in a situation where you're down and you're mourning and something is, you know, you're down with pains. It must not be physical pains, emotional pains. Just apply these tips, apply these methods, and they are going to help you. So I still have about 2 other things that helped me. Like I rediscovered my strength, okay? I just told myself, Sandra, you can do this, you can pull through no matter what, okay? So I drew strength from many angles. I drew strength from people around me, my mom, my pastor. I just tried to draw strength, my children, okay? And another beautiful thing that helped me was seeing my husband in my children. He helped me so much. Do not transfer your anger to your children. It's very wrong. Or your frustration or your pain to your children. It's very, very wrong. See them as a blessing. Begin to love them. Show them so much love that you've never shown them before. Cultivate love for them. Cultivate love for every single person around you. And you see yourself healing so fast. Okay, love is very important in the healing process. Very, very important. You see yourself healing so fast. You see yourself pouring out so much love to people. Cultivate so much love in your heart. It will help you so much. Like grow the love on daily basis, no matter the hate out there, no matter the whatever. Grow love. Nurture it. Love people that even despise you. Even when they hate you, even when they feel, oh, you now hate me, they will know that you're there loving them so much. Okay, that's another important part of the healing process. If you find out that it's beginning to affect your head, go for therapy. It's very important. I mean, you cannot do everything for yourself. Some people, it affects them differently. Like I said before, people heal differently. Go for therapy if you feel like this is getting too much. Go for therapy. Okay, try and talk to professionals, mental health professionals. See a psychiatric. It's not, I don't understand that. It's only in Nigeria here that when people want to go and see a psychiatric, people will begin like, it's only mad people that go to psychiatric hospital. It's a lie. A normal person, when you're going through stress up there, you can still visit a mental health person, somebody that sees about mental health. They can talk to you, talking to them alone. Okay, so sometimes it's not like you can do it all alone. While you involve God, pray for yourself, people around you pray for you, mingle with only people that give you so much happiness. Anywhere you don't get happiness, don't mingle there. Please don't go there. Whatever that reminds you of what you're passing through or where you're trying to come out from, don't go there. Avoid that place. Mingle with only people that give you happiness. Okay, and you see yourself doing so well for yourself. So I hope so far I've been able to talk about this. I have so many things on my head. Maybe this one is going to have a part 2, or maybe in one of the, maybe I'll be chipping it in one or two of the episodes. But for now, I have to go because the video is already too long. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.